We will now proceed to our last speaker for today, Mr. Joseph Francisco Ortega of the Department of Tourism, Region One.
Hello, good afternoon to everybody, especially to our partners in the Tourism Congress of the Philippines, represented by someone who is also dear to my family, Sir Jojo Clemente. Of course, Sir Bob, thank you also for the kind introduction, and to my fellow RDs who are also here today to present what we have at the Department of Tourism so that we can slowly, surely, and responsibly restart tourism as per our dear Secretary, Honorable Secretary Bernadette Romulo Puyen. Again, I would like to also greet our private stakeholders. I think hindi lang po sa Region 1, but we also have as far as Mindanao and Visayas. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. I got the chance to, in fact, work with the OIC RD Febuela in Region 5. Shinare po namin yung best practices namin sa Bicol region, and we can't wait to share a presentation for you today. We have, sana po, maengganyo po kayo sa mga videos na i-share namin today and the current status of our region as well as our recovery plans until for this year and 2022. Yes, good afternoon. I would like to report first, since we are still having technical difficulties with our video, I would like to report on the update on the destination readiness of Region 1. Next slide, please. So to start off, our four provinces, the provinces of Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, and Pangasinan were generally under MGCQ until such time that some cases have risen specifically in La Union and Ilocos Sur. So right now, La Union is not allowing travel for tourism and leisure until such time that the provincial government assesses the lower in the spike of cases. Specifically speaking, Bawang, the towns of Bawang, Luna, Bangar, Agoo, Aringay, Tubao, Nagilian, and San Fernando City are on localized lockdowns. For Ilocos Sur, we have the towns of Candon City, Kawayan, Salcedo, Santa Cruz, and Suyo under MECQ until May 5th. For Ilocos Norte and Pangasinan, they're actually open to tourists from MGCQ areas except for NCR plus cities and municipalities, subject to the changes of the national IETF. Currently, if you're looking at the requirements, for Ilocos Norte, Sur, and La Union, they require testing. For the town of Pangasinan, for the province of Pangasinan, the governor referred to the local LGUs whether they want to require test before travel or not. You may refer, we will give you a link later on for this presentation so that you can have a copy of this as well. Next, please. So to start off, I just wanted to share that based on the previous visits of the Secretary in Region 1, we were able to map out several mappings or requirements in our border entry so that we can assess whether we can create a green lane for tourism purposes due to the surge of border buildup by uppers and LSIs. So in efforts to address this problem, starting with the province of Ilocos Norte, we have identified a visitor center that is a triage system for tourists specifically, 5 minutes away from the border, separate from the upper and LSI section at the Badok Gateway. So this is a basic map of what you will see on the ground when you enter Ilocos Norte. Next, please. So just to show you what losses we have basically experienced in 2020 because of the pandemic. Initially, in the year 2019, for the provinces of Ilocos Norte, Sur, La Union, and Pangasinan combined, we had about 2.4 million people. Based on that, our projection for 2020 was 2.9 million, with the projected total receipts of amounting to 4.4 billion pesos. So it's unfortunate that even until now we're on lockdown. We saw the very steep decline in numbers. So if you have a projection of 2.9 million visitors for 2020, the actual arrivals for last year was only 190,000 individuals, with the total revenue of actually 293 million pesos compared to the 4.4 billion pesos projected income. So the total foregone income for 2020 was actually 4.1 billion pesos in losses, which is very, very big. Next slide, please. So, what have been our efforts to address the situation? We have heard, the Secretary has heard of all the different comments of our stakeholders. This includes, of course, you will see the Bayanihan to Assistance Fund, where we were able to get 3 billion pesos in funding for displaced tourism workers. We were also able to get and fight for the 6 billion cares for travel, which unfortunately in this time we have been having a hard time selling it to everybody because we understand the uncertainty that we are in right now. But just to share the positivity that we've had engaged in our area, we established the first travel corridor in the country, and this is between Region 1 and Baguio City, with the efforts of the secretary. Actually, it was Secretary Berna who had told us to invite the four governors of Region 1 to come up and have an exploratory MOU signing with Mayor Benji Magalong so that we can find a way to make a travel corridor work. Because when you say travel bubble, there are still some hindrances because of perhaps airline travel or perhaps the cost of travel when they go. So a lot of people, 81% according to DOT's stats, was that 81% prefer land travel. Anyway, this has been a symbol of our start, and we are very happy to share with you that this has been very fruitful for us in the smallest ways. Next, please. And some of the activities that we've had actually born out of the activities of the business to business and the business to consumer activities, wherein the secretary had arranged for the validation of different tourist attractions in all the provinces of Region 1, which she had visited personally. She also opened the Travel Expo, which is the travel to consumer stalls for per province when we opened the province officially last year in October. And basically, this was repeated in all four provinces. We also had the B2B, where when we went to Baguio, we brought all the tour and travel operators of Region 1, and they had a sit down with the tour and travel operators of the Cordillera, and they had an exchange of packages. And in this experience, they were able to learn that you cannot make packages anymore similarly to what was pre-pandemic. And in the new normal, there are definitely so many things that have been added in terms of costing, capital expense and requirements, etc., including expenditures for health and safety protocols. So this is definitely something they had to agree with and discuss personally so that their prices will not be affected. For the phase two, so we started the opening of the Region Reef Travel Corridor in Ilocos Norte for our phase two. We went down to the province of Ilocos Sur with Governor Ryan Singson. He took us around the cultural and heritage sites of Vigan, and he was able to basically convince our establishments and people from the province of Ilocos Sur to slowly open and restart tourism in his area. Ngayon po kasi medyo nagkaroon lang po ng surge in cases. That's why the governor had recently closed the province again. But I think starting May 1, we will see again a slow but sure opening of the province of Ilocos Sur. Next slide, please. As you can see, the slides here are also our efforts in the DOT regional office as well as the central office to show our efforts of what we have been doing despite of tourism being the hardest hit in our country. So you will see here that we started with DOT opening the travel corridor concept with Baguio City, especially from guests from Luzon. We also welcome the opening of Ilocos Norte, which is a very, very big step to the entire island of Luzon, because in essence, earlier in the pandemic, provinces were very, very strict when it comes to letting people in the province, especially those coming from GCQ areas. And of course, for Ilocos Sur, we started opening it in November 15th. Alongside this, sorry, I think medyo nagkakagalo lang sa slides, but these are more photos of our business to business in Baguio. Anyway, alongside this, we also created a rebranding of Region One, where I think like to change the name slides, where we created the branding Find the One in Region One. So if you don't see it in the slide, you might see it in my background. It's actually Find the One in Region One. And when we thought of this branding, we thought, how can we really hit the heart of those people who we have lost touch with, because in essence we have lost that type of market, because either one, they've lost their spending rights, or they would just rather do away with it because it's super expensive or it's hard to get to. So in this manner, what we wanted to do was to try to get people in touch with the reparation of their health and wellness, or their mental health. And that's why we thought of Find the One in Region One, because we wanted to apply to everybody that you can find anything. You can find the one in Region One. It can be the Find the One place, find the one food, find the one hotel, find the one journey, find the one experience, or find the one you love. And that is why we thought of that. And you will be able to see that in all the different places in our region. So these are more photos. Okay. So I think this is the culmination of our. I think a lot of questions that we've seen in the chat group was, how do we apply for the travel pass? We saw a while ago RD Mike's efforts to present their green corridor, which is very similar to what other regional directors have been doing. And for Region One, we have stuck with the Region One Visita system, and we have introduced this as Tarana. And you may log into tarana.ph to look for more info on this, but I will quickly show you what this system can do. Next slide, please. So this is a digital system, travel request system, where people can. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So this is basically the interface of the system of Tarana, and essentially what we wanted to do was to unify all the border controls of Region 1. And that being said, all the four governors had actually agreed and signed in their executive ordinances the use of this Tarana system to be the sole system used for tourism purposes. Now, if you are a user and you want to go into Region 1, all you need to do is register, and you will be given a valid QR code that will be unique to you and which you will use to apply for travel passes. We will have a video here that we will show you later on, and we will copy furnish the Tourism Congress of the Philippines for your reference. Next slide, please. So for the user roles, we have 4 avenues for this application. We have a management application for tour operators. So if you're a tour operator, a DOT accredited tour operator, you can apply for a user role here. And what you can do is basically you will be accepted, like what RD Mike Palispis had mentioned in Region 4A. You will be included in one of the selections of tour and travel agencies in which the user can book their travel requirements with. You also have the end user, which are the travelers, and of course you have the administrators, which will be approved by the provincial tourism offices and the municipal tourism officers, and of course the checkpoint marshals in the borders. Next, please. So for more info, we would love to share with you all the things that we have been doing. And if you would like to get into Tarana, which is getting into Region 1, you log on to the website https://region1.tarana.ph. Next slide, please. And this is how it looks on the phone as well. Next slide, please. So right now, just to share with you, we have a limited carrying capacity of 1,000 people for the province of Pangasinan. Well, actually, it's open, no? But for Alaminos, their target is 1,000, and it's the most number of allowed tourists in one municipality in the province. For La Union, for the entirety of the province, they're only allowing 700. For For Ilocos Sur, we only have 200, and for Ilocos Norte, there is no limit. Next, please. As you can see, the number of users of Tarana have increased. We can see that we have a total of 5,627 users as of April 9, and we have only established this in the last month. And we've have seen a spike of users actually coming from Region 3. So lahat po ng mga namang problema na businesses sa Region 1, actually, lahat ng yung market po na nanggagaling sa NCR Plus, one way to really spread the market is to focus on other regions which are more accessible via land. So in terms of Region 1 po, we have Region 3, Region 2, and the Cordillera to get visitors from. So if you see the chart here po, we have about at least 2,300 people coming from Region 3. So, previous slide, please. So if you look at this table, in the last two months po natin, ito po yung number of approved in Region 1 travel requests. So we have 909 for a total of 218 rejected, 415 in progress, expired 188 for a total of 1,730 applications through the Tarana system. Next slide, please. And if you can see po, karamihan po ng mga requests nanggagaling po talaga sa Metro Manila at 409. Next na po yung Region 3, which is 293 in Pampanga, and Cordillera, which is 248. Yun nga po, I think this is a very important statistic because we need to know po na we are really affected because of the closure of the NCR Plus bubble. However, this calls for concern because we need to really focus our efforts into inviting other visitors from different areas because we understand also on the health side that kailangan din po rin natin talaga mag-lockdown because of the surge of cases in Metro Manila. Next slide, please. So for our projects, I wanted to share in our region, in our regional office po, we have our continuing projects. Mainly ang focusing po namin dito, something to take notice po is under tourism industry training, which is the seminar on the protection, maintenance, and tour package development of cultural and heritage sites in Region 1. Since everything is closed po, this is the best time for us, for our office to have created an inventory of what we really have so that we can create a story, so that we can create a regional package and invite more people to stay longer in our region versus staying in just one area. Next slide, please. So for product development, something that I wanted to share with you that is ongoing for the provinces of La Union and Pangasinan. For the La Union province, we are developing right now eco and nature trails. So as of the moment po, we have been going in the district, or the second district, considerably in the town of Agoo, La Union. We have been walking up the mountains actually to look at what is ready for hiking and ecotourism. Meron din po kami sa first district in the town of San Gabriel, where Tangadan Falls is located. Gumagawa din po kami ng night trails, or it's a product offering for night. Kasi po every full moon, there is a full moon month every month, and meron po mga species of flora and fauna that's endemic for sa gabi po. So we are trying to create that market so that we can expand the visitor base of those who will go to our province of La Union. For Pangasinan naman po, we are developing the central, western, and eastern circuits so that we can basically make use of the 12 million annual visitors of Our Lady of Manawag. Personally, I'm a Marian devotee, specifically to Our Lady of Manawag, and ang akin lang po is the reason why we're developing that is lahat po ng dinadala ng Lady of Manawag pwede pong makatulong doon sa mga neighboring provinces such as San Fabian and different towns like Bolinao in Western Pangasinan, where people can relax after they visit their pilgrimage sites. For the Ilocos Norte naman po, for the province of Ilocos Norte, we are developing a bird-watching tourism circuit. It's not capital intensive. We have a past market of Japanese, Korean, Taiwanese tourists coming in. complementing it with their golf activities and ESL activities as well. So with the efforts of the secretary, ang sinasabi niya po, sana we can open our provinces to travel bubbles, because this way, if we are able to get high net worth individuals with low numbers of volume, it's safer for us, and at the same time we still get the revenues that we have been looking from the NCR Plus market. For Ilocos Sur naman po, we have a package of destination management and repackaging the development for key tourism areas, mainly the towns nearby Vigan, because people like to go to Vigan but they don't know where else to go in Ilocos Sur. So ang ginawa po namin is we connected po different ecotourism sites like the Pinsal Falls, which is part of our projects for the Sustainable Development Goals. Meron din po kaming mga farm tourism where we have the Pinakpet Farm, na pag pumunta po kayo doon, yung farm ninyo andun po sa tabi lang ng kakainan nyo, and the things that you will be served will be coming from the farm that's beside you. So it's very, very impressive. Of course, for the regional product update, we are creating the data bank of Region One tourism products so that we can better disseminate the information or the availability and the tourism readiness of these destinations to our stakeholders as well as the viewers here today. Inclusive of that, for the region, we are working alongside Region 3, RD Carol, OIC Fanibeth in Region 2, and RD Jovi in Cordilleras to come up with the development of a World War II historical and cultural trail. Alam naman po natin na marami pong mga estudyante na nasa bahay lang po, yung mga magulang nila, they're trying to work hard, doing work from home. So there's really no consistent type of education for people. So ang naisip po namin, if we come up with historical and cultural trails where it's outdoor, families can take their kids for some outdoor education and to learn about our history. Maganda po ito kasi na-address niyo po yung concern ng educational needs ng mga tao, yung mental health needs po ng mga tao to go out, and of course yung health and wellness po nila, that you should be outdoor, not indoor, because alam naman po natin that if you stay indoors, mas prone ka po sa sakit ng COVID. Meron din po tayong development of the Regional Pilgrimage Trail na I'm a big devotee po. We are trying to get all the Minore Basilicas located in Region 1, and we have created a general mapping of what pilgrimage or pilgrims rather can visit in our region. Meron din po kami, as you have seen in the past projects of our other regional directors, we have a Find the One bike tour. Karamihan po, I'm not sure kung marami po sa atin dito ang nagbabike, but sa mga probinsya po namin, halos lahat po, mahirap mayaman, meron na pong bike. And that's why what we wanted to do was to map out all the bike circuits in all the provinces. And what we have identified so far was we created one central jump-off point per province. So ang ginawa po namin, ang central jump-off point po namin in Pangasinan is Central Pangasinan, in the town of San Fabian, where we have the bikers then. That lahat po ng mga bikers from Region 3 and Region 1, dyan po nagko-congregate, and from there they go to different towns in Pangasinan. For La Union naman po, we have San Fernando City. For Ilocos Sur, we have Vigan, and for Ilocos Norte, we have Paway, around the Paway Lake. So we are looking into creating a project of having a Tour de Ilocos, Find the One bike tour, perhaps this June, if pwede na pong gumawa ng event. Alongside that, with the same budget, we are also supporting Motorismo, where we are partnering with the SMC Infra, BMW Motorrad, of course, the different bike companies, to bring all of their bikers from Metro Manila Region 3 to go on a regional loop in our region, in the Ilocos. Of course, next please. Of course, ito pong sa tourism industry training din natin, ayaw din po natin pabayaan. One of the things that we wanted to push for, lalo na po na I am part of the new generation, I wanted to include po in my projects the Caravan on Climate Change and Adaptation and Mitigation. So this is something that will push for the integration po of sustainable tourism and environment protection in our tourism development. Clearly, hindi lang po pandemic ang kalaban natin. We still have climate change change. And, as part of the young generation, I still want to bring that awareness to our stakeholders, lalo na po sa mga coastal communities that depend their livelihood with tourism, lalo na po sa mga how you build your infrastructure in terms of building against a salvage zone, maintaining the use of reuse, reduce, and recycle in all your establishments. This is something that we are very serious about in our region, and we are very happy that our regional stakeholders are doing the same as well. Of course, for market and product development, you'll see on the right, we also are allocating budget for the reactivation of major gateways and cruise tourism seaports. Sa region po namin, meron po kaming isang international airport that is night-rated, the Lawag International Airport. We are working very well with Governor Matt Manotoc. He's very much keen even on opening travel between Japan, Taiwan, and different travel island destinations that can have a direct travel to Lawag. And we're really working hard po. Sana ang AirAsia po is also here. Baka there's something we can work on with regards to this one. Next slide, please. Okay, I know there's a lot of information overload po. So for more information or inquiries or questions, please don't hesitate to email us at dot1@tourism.gov.ph or call us at 072-888-2098. Sa akin lang po, ang message ko sa lahat is that keep the faith, the hope, and the love. Keep the faith in the Lord that He will not give us something that we cannot take. Keep the love for your neighbors around you, because especially those mga frontliners po natin that need all the support, moral support in this time. And of course, keep the hope that tourism will rise again. Again, agyaman ng apo, magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Sir Jojo for Tourism Congress of the Philippines, thank you so much for having me here today.